Hello, boys and girls. Dave Holland has stepped out. You guys are at specials. That means I get to play for a minute. What I want to do for a minute is talk to you all about your sound projects, about what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and things that you can look at when you start doing your research, and things that you can look for when you start planning your project, okay? I want to start over here. Oh, and this is the first time I'm using my swivel. Isn't this the coolest thing ever? It's going to follow me as I move around with old man knees on the floor. So what I want to do is start here with what shouldn't we do, okay? And we've talked about this in a few different ways. And to begin with, oh, look, a drum. I'm done. My instrument. I made it. What have you made? Nothing. What have you researched? Nothing. What have you done? You grabbed the bucket that was sitting in the corner of the garage, you cleaned out all the cobwebs and maybe anything that might have been in it, and you're saying you're done. No, this is not an acceptable project by any way, shape, or form. Look, rocks in a Coke bottle, a timeless tradition of Nyeh. This is not a Coke bottle, I'll grant you. It's a water bottle, and they're not rocks, they're little necklacey things. Nyeh, what have you researched? What have you done? Nothing. Okay, are we seeing his theme here? But what if? What if I did some research? What if I did some thinking and I use this to build something? This is a starting point. Now you're thinking. What if I use that bucket over here to make something like this? This is a simple cloth skin hammered in using some nails. It has some pegs on the bottom so that when you stand on them, now this is going to tilt up if I do this, but I'm going to stand on these pegs and funky beat, right? Now I've made a washboard bass bass fiddle. That's what it is. And this allows you to do that. That's what it looks like from the bottom. It's solid all the way through. Some pegs going through so that you can stand on it. Pull tension so that you can pull the string to play it. Okay? Sit right there. Could I do the same thing with this? How could I do that with a pair of scissors? Dremel. Something. I don't know. That's for you to figure out. Moving on. I have here a very cool instrument. And as you can see, I forget what this one's called, forgive me. It's made out of metal. So am I going to make this out of metal? No. Could I find, I don't know, what's that look like to you? Kind of bowlish. And if I got a little sawzall, Dremel-y kind of thing, carefully measured out, lo and behold, could I have a wood? I don't know. Research, maybe? Say perhaps I have some turtles, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, and I use some PVC pipe to make a frame and then put my turtles on my... I'm kidding, I did not. I didn't. These are old turtle shells left over from old turtles once they got old. But lo and behold, using some plastic rubber hosing, some PVC pipe, I've made a frame to support, and based on the size, the bigger, the lower, the smaller, the higher. Coincidence? No, it's not. Do I have to use turtle shells? No. Could I find other things? Yes. But what's really important and interesting here is this. This is what allows it to vibrate. If I just nailed this onto a piece of wood, it's not going to vibrate. It's not going to do what it needs to do. By nailing it onto the board, it's going to stop the vibration. It's going to muffle the sound, and it's not going to work. This string, this lattice, going through the shells. There you go. You can hit pause if you want to look at it. And this is nothing more than simple PVC pipe stuck together using little connector doodaddys to make a nice little framework. Can it be that easy? A little research? A little help? A little help. Remember, moms and dads, they've got to build it, not you. Could I go to the backyard where random pieces of bamboo grow, cut down a piece, and make an instrument? Maybe. if I put some thought and effort into it, if I measured carefully using a ruler, carefully using a saw to cut the grooves, and then making a little groove this way so that more sound can come out.
Hi.
And look, it's one of them, their little scratchy thingies. I don't know about y'all, but I always have cow horns laying around my house. But look here, they did the same thing with the cow horn. Using a file, they made the grooves. They put a little metal handle on. This is probably just an old cabinet handle that might be laying around in a bucket in the garage somewhere. And oh, look, it's a frying pan from my sister's Easy Bake Oven. It's an instrument. No, it's not. It isn't. It is not an instrument. What have you made? What have you done? Nothing. Nothing at all. This, no. But this, maybe. Kind of looks like the end of horn, tube, spring, stick, vibration. Could be maybe. Yes. Yes, indeed. It's getting a little loud in here. We're getting invaded by kindergartners. What about shakers, Mr. Eichler? Maracas, rattles. Well, you know what? I'm kind of on the fence with maracas and rattles because rocks in a Coke bottle. But if you did something like this with design, big, little, purpose, they're shaped and sculpted so that they fit together. We've done some work, some research, some effort. I don't know that I'd complain too much. Could I take a bunch of rocks and put it on a string? Look, it's a rattle. No, but could I take each individual piece, hold still, camera, cut it, shape it, put a little knock in there so that you have vibration that works? Suddenly, I don't mind so much because effort. Could I just take a bunch of rocks and put it on a rope? No. I don't know. Can you get a sound like that out of it? Can I take a bunch of pieces of metal and just hang them off of a chain? I don't know. Can you put some work and effort into it and make it look good? Can you get a sound like that? Does each one have its own individual clacker? I don't know. Effort, research. What's creating the vibration? Multiple sizes, different tone, different sound. Harder I shake it, the louder, softer, right? Oh, Mr. Eichler, he had the coolest thing with a spring. I want to make that. Well, I'm all about you making that. But there's the problem. In essence, it is a spring on a membrane and a tube. Can you make it? Yes, you can, Bob. The question being, though, can you make it work? Research. The membrane is the key here. What are you going to find? Now, this is a Remo drum head, as you can see if this will hold still. This is professionally made. The spring is actually, if you can see it, screwed into the membrane. They've got a little nut and bolt on there that's holding that spring through the membrane. That's the coolest thing ever, isn't it? Could you make something like that? Possibly. Possibly you could. Could I make a xylophone? I love xylophones. You know what makes a xylophone a xylophone? It's not this. It's this. Look at the side on this. You see how there's these little tiny pieces of, what is that actually? Leather. And the leather is running down as a buffer in between the pieces of the xylophone. Because this piece of metal sits on the leather acts as a cushion, which doesn't immediately stop the vibration. If I nail this directly to a piece of wood, it's not going to work so good. But if I take a pieces of wood and Dad's wrenches, he won't mind, really. Will you, Dad? Now note, there is one screw going through it, but Dad's not going to let you drill holes in his wrenches, I'm pretty sure. So you're going to need to figure out another way to hold it on. But this end is totally loose. It's only secured at one end so as not to keep a grip on it, so that it's free to vibrate. Yes, the V word. Isn't that cool? Really, Dad will let you use his wrenches. Mr. Eichler, boom trackers. We can make boom trackers. Well, okay, I'll spot you. If you bring these in and tell me you made them, I'm going to figure it out. I'm kind of smart. So is your teacher. However, if I use pieces of plastic and I did research and a little STEM application of trial and error and figuring out the appropriate length for the appropriate sound, and I actually tuned it. This one is a C, and this one is a G, and this one is an F. And if you could show me the tuning on them, suddenly boom trackers are cool. So, Mr. Eichler, what am I going to do? I don't know. Look around. What do you got? Do some research. At the bottom of this video, I'm including a couple of links. Links to some websites featuring all kinds of instruments from all over the world. What do I want you to do? Do I want you to go buy them? No. Do I want you to go look at them, study them, look at the pictures, the parts, the pieces, and figure out how they're put together? And can I make this? Well, yes, you can. Because you can also just grab the suitcase that's sitting in the corner of the garage that hasn't been touched for a good 30 years. Go find a whole bunch of stuff sitting around and rock out. I lost the stick! And suddenly, by the force, sticks fly in. And all of a sudden, I've created an amazing instrument. Look, a hole. What's that hole do? It lets the sound out, right? It amplifies because echo chamber, right? Right. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. Thank you very much for watching. Click the links below. Research, effort. That's what we want to see. Rocks on a Coke bottle in any form, never good. Thank you all for watching. Mr. Holland is back. He wants his instruments. I'll see you all later. Where's the off button?